How would you like to get more real estate leads while at the same time spending less per lead? Sounds pretty cool, right? Well, it's something that you can do right now, regardless of the Facebook ad that you're running. Today, you'll see how to use retargeting in its full form to drive down the cost per real estate lead. Let's begin. Hey, it's Jaime. If we're just meeting, welcome to the channel that brings actionable content to grow your business through online marketing. So if that sounds beneficial, consider subscribing. Question of the day, are you using retargeting ads at the moment? Let me know in the comment section down below. All right, so let's get our lead cost down. I've taught this concept before, but I've used pictures and diagrams and things of that nature, but I thought, what better way of showing you what retargeting is and how to apply it to reduce your spend than to actually show you in real time, to show you some real life example. So let me refresh this real quick. Although this isn't the show, the show's gonna be what we're actually about to do. I just wanna show you some results of 4 campaigns that I'm running to generate some buyer leads. These are more investor type leads, first time home buyer type leads than anything else. But this audience that I'm advertising to and marketing this property to is a cold audience. So this isn't a warm audience, this isn't a hot audience, this is not a well-known audience. This is just one that I'm using, driving this ad specifically to a cold audience. Now, the concept of retargeting is simple. You show your ad once, and then you want those people to see that ad again. But more specifically, you want those people that either engaged with that particular ad or engaged with your particular form of delivery. And that form of delivery, when you're doing a lead campaign, is through the lead form. So we can do this one of 2 ways, and I'll actually show you both. The first way is pretty dialed in, which I highly encourage you to do. In order to make this work to the maximum benefit, you're gonna create a custom audience of people that clicked on your ad and went to your lead form. Essentially, whenever somebody is getting ready to submit their information, they're gonna click on your lead form. So this form right here that we're using to capture the information, when they click there and don't give you their information, that is the people that you want to target. Those are the people that you want to see your ad again because they were so close to submitting their information. So you wanna show your ad to them once again with hopes of them actually converting and giving you their contact information. In order to do that, we're gonna create a custom audience. So we're gonna go up here, go to audiences. All right, so we're gonna create a custom audience. We're gonna come over here. I'm not gonna go too in depth here, just know that there are other retargeting audiences that you can take advantage of. If you want a more descriptive video on what that looks like, I'll link it down below. So I'm gonna go to the lead form. And when you go to the lead form, you're gonna see the option of creating your audience. Include people who meet any of the following criteria. People who opened this form, people who opened but didn't submit this form, and people who opened and submitted this form. So if you leave it at anyone who opened this form, it is great, that's a good, it's still narrow, but it doesn't take us all the way down because it's still including people who submitted the form. What I'm after is people who opened but didn't submit their form. So those are the people that I don't have the information from. So go to the page and then select the page that you're running that particular ad from, and then select your specific form, which right here, we're gonna select that specific form. And then the past, let me change that to 15 days so I don't have to remake this audience again in case I use this particular form again. So what did I just do? I created a custom audience of people that have engaged with my ad, but did not feel convicted enough to give me their contact information. So I'm going to retarget to those specifically. I have narrowed out the audience from the other 4 campaigns that I'm running to people that are more likely to act now that they've seen my ad in the past and showed some level of interest enough to click through. They may have not submitted their information, but this is what retargeting is about. So I'm going to put triplex, bishop, third, retargeting, 15 days, did not submit. Did not sub. Let me move me. I'll create that audience. Done. Okay, now that we're back at the original screen that we were in, the ad set level with this particular type of campaign, we're going to duplicate this no interest investment. And what we're going to do is we're going to create another ad that, well, essentially another campaign that is retargeting only. So we're going to put form, no form, but no submit. So it's just shorthand. Form, they visited the form but did not submit. So I'm going to copy that. When it goes to daily budget, $5 is far too much. $1 is going to be enough. This audience is going to be smaller. I just started this campaign yesterday, so it's tiny. When I start running more and more traffic to it, then yes, I would up this budget. But for now, $20 per day on the other 4 campaigns is not enough to substantiate another $5 for this particular retargeting. So $1 will be more than enough. And we're going to call out the audience that we just created. So triplex, bishop, third retargeting. That's the one that we want. As you can see, the reach. And don't get over critical about the estimated reach. It's wrong. So it's not going to matter too much anyway. And what I like to do is I just like to exclude any other parameters that I've had. I just do that. I do that because the audience is small enough to where, since Facebook is trying to push my message everywhere else, if I was driving it from a cold traffic perspective, then it would be a waste of money. But now that I have a more refined audience, I can spend this $1 a little bit wiser. So I'm okay with it going everywhere at this point. So this is gonna follow them through the internet, or as long as, I guess not the entire internet, it's gonna follow through Facebook, Instagram, and the partners that Facebook has. All right, so before we go to publish, let's go to the ad, paste, and publish. And this is ultimately gonna produce some cheaper ads for me. Let's fix some. Oh, there we go. There you go. All right, so this is going to go in draft, and it's going to get approved rather quickly because I didn't change anything else outside of the audience, so there's not much for them to verify. This is going to ultimately provide cheaper traffic to us because we've already vetted it out in the past, and it's going to have higher conversions, and ultimately our leads are going to cost less. And I almost forgot before I signed off, let's go back to the audiences. I promised you 2 different ways that work well, but let me just deliver on that. I just showed you my preferred method of retargeting when it comes to the leads. So we're going to come back to the custom audience. The same thing that we just did, you're going to do at this point with this other strategy. So you're going to go to Facebook page and do pretty much the same thing. Highlight the page that you're running the audience from, and then anyone who engaged with your page. So you see anyone who visited your page, anyone who engaged with any post or ad. So you can select either this one, anyone who visited your page, or people who engaged with any post or ad. If you're looking for another way of doing it outside of what I just showed you from the lead form, I would suggest that you highlight this right here. And the reason being, before I get to the reason, I would narrow this down even further. I would narrow it down to the past. If you're gonna run this ad for the past 7 days, I would max, for the next 7 days, I would max it out for 7 days altogether. The reason being is you have included a subset of an audience when you ran the ad. So whenever you ran the ad, people that engaged with your ad resonated with the ad copy that you produced, so they're interested in that. It doesn't make too much sense to advertise to anybody and everybody. Yes, can you do it and have a smaller time window? Sure, you can do that, but depending on how engaged your page is, I don't recommend that as much. I recommend that you either go through the lead form, which I showed you, which was the majority of this video, or go through people who engaged with any post or ad in the past 7 days or however long you plan to run your audience. I would actually tighten this up if I was actually running this myself, but since I'm not, I just want to show you that second way, the second strategy of you running this particular ad. But ultimately, this is how you retarget, and again, this is how you reduce your lead cost. If you found value in this video, please be sure to subscribe so we can talk again soon.